Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game, Genduke versus Fantafiction. This game taking place here on a Tide Hunters. On the bottom right hand side of the map we have Genduke spawning as the orange orc, opening things up with that Altar of Storms and an orc burrow. Meanwhile, off to the north we see Fantafiction spawning as the green undead, opening things up with a Death Knight, Altar of Darkness, there's that crypt there, and it is gonna be a Blade Master. 2-minute mark already reached. Blade Master out and about, going after the Sea Giant Creep Camp. Meanwhile, Death Knight has held onto the Scroll of Town Portal and looks like he may just be trying to creep out with that Rod of Necromancy, not necessarily trying to get an expo just quite yet. Alright, here we go. Sea Giant gonna take some damage. Meanwhile, Blade Master looking to finish off this Forest Troll Trapper here. Fantafiction's, no, Genduke, excuse me, taking a little bit of damage on that Blade Master, but has that Voodoo Lounge, gonna sell that Scroll of Town Portal, pick up double healing salves, but curiously does not hold on, or does not pick up a Scroll of Speed. Alright, another 4-2 creep camp here to try and clear up. Giant Sea Turtle gonna go after that Grunt there, just trying to, well, share the damage across multiple units, as the Death Knight now going after the Snare Caster here. Low hit point Ghoul already backing up, backpack upgrade already done for Fantafiction, surprisingly, as we could be going into a fast tech to tier 2 on both sides. Curiously enough, Genduke was the one to get to tier 2, or start that tier 2 first, and well, should get there first as well. Meanwhile, water elementals, or excuse me, enraged elementals with reef elementals doing a little bit of poking apart here. Death Knight taking a little bit of needless damage, and well, the Death Knight is looking for an expo that his opponent may have set up, and so is the Blade Master. Both sides quickly realizing that, well, there is no expansion there, and the Death Knight with such a large army decides to clear his opponent's expo anyways, picking up, well, I thought he would have picked up an item. No item to pick up there. There's a Death Coil. Maybe he picked up the Ring of Protection +4, as there is a bit of damage going, well, getting exchanged here. Alright, little critical strike there, as the units are now retreating back too. Alright, so both of these players were opting to try and disrupt the others, and well, no one really had a strategy of their own. By trying to disrupt the others, perhaps they were hoping to get that tech advantage at tier 2, perhaps some obsidian statues, perhaps some raiders, in order to apply pressure. Right now, since no one really has anything that you can disrupt of your opponent, then the only thing you can do is perhaps try and disrupt a bit of that creeping. I believe the Death Knight, or the Blade Master, was once again able to get that item there. There's a Dust of Appearance trying to, well, take down that Blade Master. Blade Master able to win walk away though, and now perhaps do a little bit more poking around once again. The Blade Master, however, is light on item slots. Death Knight still wants to clear up a little bit more, perhaps try to pick up those items here, as the Blade Master now going after the Apprentice and the Skeletal Orc, gonna pick up that Tome of Knowledge and back away. So far, Genduke is doing a great job, well, getting items, clearing out creep camps, and causing a little bit of disruption. Yes, I know that the Death Knight did get this Snare Caster over there, but other than that, the Death Knight's pretty bare on items, as well, he seems to be shopping a lot and just simply pawning everything away. Or, I guess not technically pawning. The rules of pawning are quite different than selling. So yeah, just selling things at the pawn shop, I guess. Why do I over-explain my analogies? So technical. Anyways, Ogre Magi gonna go ahead and get it taken down here. Meanwhile, Shadow Hunter working alongside the Blade Master on the southern portion of the map here. Blade Master should get to level 3 off of this right there. Yes, pretty much on the money, picking up a Pure Up of Vitality, exactly what the doctor ordered. A little bit more hit points, add in some damage, and one survivability item, Potion of Greater Healing, Potion of Invulnerability, and well, that is an annoying Blade Master in the mid and late game. Meanwhile, Death Knight has picked up a Potion of Greater Healing for himself. Always incredibly important that the Death Knight has a way to keep himself alive, since the Death Knight is often the hero that, well, tries to keep everything else alive with that Death Coil. Alright, both sides, well, retreating back now into their respective corners of the map, clearing out creeps. We're going to see a level 2 Shadow Hunter here with some powerful items, a robe of Magi for this, well, highly mana intensive dexterity hero, as the Shadow Hunter also has a clarity potion to bring to the fight as well. We see a couple of shops here. Are we going to perhaps try and get to level 2 or level 3 on the Shadow Hunter, or instead are we reaching out and reaching forth? Genduke looking for where Fantafiction is, doesn't find him again, and may take this opportunity to clear out this difficult Rock Golem creep camp. Alright, Blade Master going straight after the Forest Troll here. Mud Golem gonna easily get taken down, only casting one slow. Or was it two? No, only one slow, as we are looking at Wind Riders taking to the skies as well. Forest Troll Trapper here, there's the Wind Rider trying to do a little bit more poking. Meanwhile, the Death Knight is going after the Gargantuan Sea Turtles, which give the consumable items, I believe. If we see a Potion of Invulnerability, or a Potion of Greater Magic, or even a Scroll of the Beast, that could tip things in favor, as we see a second Potion of Greater Healing now picked up by the Lich. Obsidian statue here, and the Death Knight wanting to perhaps clear out some more creep camps. There's this southern one down here still not cleared, and this is a straight race for creeps, as the Death Knight and the Lich are finally going to find each other here at the 8-minute mark. Healing Wave bouncing around. Shadow Hunter sitting at level 2, not going to get to level 3. Frost Nova for the steal on the experience there, as there is a Shade keeping track of the Death Knight to make sure there is not going to be, well, Blade Master does get the experience there, but the Replenishment Potion going to be left behind. Death Knight picking that up, saying thank you, and perhaps can use it to regenerate some hit points out of combat and get a bit of mana as well. Tauren Chieftain now out on the battlefield, opting to go for Stomp first. Blade Master picking up an Orb of Lightning, selling his items, or not dropping that Gauntlets of Ogre Strength +3, selling, I think that was actually an open item slot, but now having plus 12 damage, but that Orb of Lightning's Purge, being able to slow down units, perhaps the biggest factor here. Blade Master now checking off to the north, trying to see if an Expo is there. Quickly turns around, doesn't see the Blight, and by turning around quickly, saves about a half second for this upcoming fight, which could be a big deal. Blade Master now knowing where the Undead army is here. He's going to try and go after a ghoul. Yes, he does. Gets a ghoul, gets a nice win or a critical strike down onto the Obsidian statue, and is now looking to back away again. Meanwhile, Lich sitting at level 2, Death Knight sitting at level 3. Death Knight with two very powerful consumable items, getting better regeneration in addition to being able to use that health stone and recover in a tight situation. Wrong emoji. Hi. Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. However you may be watching, however you may be listening, thank you for spending a little of your time with me today as we look at a ladder matchup between two Chinese players. I guess China players? Yeah, China players. And Deathcoil finishing off a low hit point Troll Bat Rider right there. Easy kill, and well, the Death Knight, well, gonna get a purge onto the Obsidian statue. Obsidian statue taking a bit of damage. Is he gonna get finished off here quickly? No easy heal there, and there is a stomp, and well, to get some ghouls down as well. Genduke finding the perfect opportunity to strike while the iron is hot, and now we have Endurance Aura also on that Tauren Chieftain. Blade Master is still just a little bit shy from level 4. Shadow Hunter is at 3, while the Lich is only still sitting at level 2. Alright, curious to see both sides on a one base play, even after all, or one base play after all this time. We are at tier 3, so, well, ORC could easily set up a tiny Great Hall here and transfer some units over. Are we going to look at, is that what we're looking at? Who's, wait, tiny Great Hall? Wait for it. No tiny Great Hall as of yet. Meanwhile, Blade Master is trying to put some disruption inside the main base, but take a look at this. All of those ziggurats right there. No Nerubian towers, but simply completely walling in that location. Shadow Hunter does bring in the tiny Great Hall here. That will get finished. One watchtower as well, as the Blade Master is trying to play a game of disruption against the Lich and that Death Knight. Lich still just shy of level 3. However, that Lich does have some nasty damage, +8 team damage between the Claws of Attack and that Orb of Corruption, as the majority of the creep camps on the map are beginning to fade away. Great call by Genduke, recognizing Fantafiction is trying to or was retreating back home. We could have had an easy clear on the red creep camp here, trying to use that opportunity, and instead, well, it's actually going to buy time for Fantafiction to find the Expo and start clearing the Expo at the same exact time Genduke is trying to clear this red creep camp in the corner. Alright, the long walk all the way back across the field is going to be a problem. Lich now at level 3 and Fantafiction perhaps catching Genduke completely unaware there. I think Genduke wasted about 30-45 seconds walking around the red creep camp before trying to engage it, and this is why he's in the situation that he's in. Alright, Blade Master, Tauren Chieftain are coming over. A couple of peons could easily get taken down. There's a couple of purges going down as well as they're trying to finish off the Frostworm. Frostworm Scroll of Healing, Death Coil perhaps could be inbound as well, trying to finish off this Frostworm, and the Death Knight gets another Death Coil again. Troll Bat Rider, however, will take the majority of the damage away as the Tauren Chieftain is still trying to lound down stomps, perhaps to try and slow down all of these attacks. Kodo Beasts are eating some skeletal minions. Destroyers are in the air, pretty much unchallenged right now, as the Berserkers are not engaging against those destroyers. Low hit point Wind Rider trying to back away down to 68 hit points, perhaps going to try and re-engage, and now finding a destroyer here. That's actually a little bit of a good lucky break. Is that destroyer going to get taken down? One more shot. Yes, it does, as the Blade Master, coupled with the Tauren Chieftain, able to get in some big stomps too. 42 supply compared to 43. The Great Hall is still alive. Troll Bat Rider's Purge going down onto an Obsidian statue. It gets taken down. Another Purge onto a Destroyer. Destroyer could easily get taken down, and he falls as well. Tauren Chieftain now on the cusp of level 3. Alright, getting to level 3 would be a big deal there. Can we get enough damage? No, we cannot. Tauren Chieftain is trying to go after the Dark Ranger, but a Death Coil does come across with the save. Some low hit point Ghoul is able to escape away as the Tauren Chieftain, well, just shy a little bit of mana, able to finish the job. Kodo Beast did try to eat a skeletal minion, but it disappeared before it got there. Low hit point Ghoul will give level 3 to that Tauren Chieftain here. Shadow Hunter, while getting some mana going. Clarity Potion's going to go ahead and bounce around as we see the Great Hall once more trying to get back to full saturation. Alright, an exchange back and forth there. Now Fantafiction finding himself in a little bit of a, well, behind the 8-ball. It's still recoverable, but with the Expo now up and operational for Genduke, it's going to be a bit of an uphill climb. Tauren Chieftain now also at level 3 should be able to place down some stronger stomps, so ground armies are going to suffer as well, perhaps taking down a couple of ghouls much more quickly. Meanwhile, a Shade should perhaps be trying to keep track of that Tauren Chieftain. Difficult to follow the Blade Master with that faster movement speed, but at this point in stage in the game, armies are often kept together, as you don't want to see yourself lose a unit in transit, so to speak. Alright, Undead trying to test the waters from the other side here. Meanwhile, Watchtower doing a little bit of poking. Are we going to see an engagement? Well, Frostworm going to easily take down this Watchtower. Troll Bat Rider is going to make their way over. Are we going to see, well, there goes one attack there. Frost Armor offering quite a bit of protection as the ghouls are still making their way over. There goes another, and now the Frostworm does in fact get that Death Coil for that heal back. Both sides are fighting their way through. Obsidian statues healing up all of those ghouls. Tauren Chieftain has not thrown down a stomp as of yet. Really needs that, as the ghouls are perhaps going to get cleaned up before a stomp even goes down. Not quite sure why we haven't seen it. The ghouls have been swarming around that Tauren Chieftain enough. Perhaps a silence, but I don't think the Dark Ranger even has that much mana any longer. Tauren Chieftain stomps onto the Lich into the back position here. Frostworm going to get picked apart as well. Blade Master needs only a couple more attacks to finish off that Frostworm. Perhaps even the Berserker should switch targets, as that Frostworm about to get taken down. Shadow Hunter trying to retreat, hide in the back. Blade Master extremely low on hit points as well. And what is that? A Hex quickly onto the Lich. Is that Shadow Hunter going to get taken down? One more final shot. Yes, it does, as well, concentrating on the heroes and focusing them down seems to have gotten at least some of the job done. Tauren Chieftain now trying to fight their way back through. There goes a stomp, a couple of low hit point units. Blade Master now back in the fight, going after those Obsidian statues. There goes another one as the Blade Master needs to retreat. Tauren Chieftain has been ignored, but now is completely in an uphill fight here as he's completely surrounded. There goes a stomp as we're looking at the Tauren Chieftain down to 177. There's a Death Coil, and there is a Tauren Chieftain falling as well. All right, classic Undead going back to, well, focusing down the heroes, taking down the leaders of the army, the pillars of the army. And once those pillars are gone, well, the remaining units can end up getting taken out as well. Are we going to see? Yes, there's once that frost is applied, this Kodo beast is easily going to get finished off here. 1 or 2 more shots, and, well, Death Knight getting closer and inching closer to level 5. All right, Shadowhunter still getting resurrected. Tauren Chieftain resurrected at the tavern, low on or half on hit points without mana and being forced to try and recover. However, economically speaking, we have about 5 minutes left here as Genduke just needs to hold out long enough. That is the question. 48 supply compared to 41, but Fantafiction with a much larger army, 46 supply compared to 21 since Genduke has so many workers. All right, are the watchtowers going to be enough as the Blade Master gets up to level 5? Perhaps level 3 critical strike will start to sway things with some big lucky strikes here. Tauren Chieftain now places down a stomp, slowing everything down as allowing the watchtower to continue to poke apart a bit of damage too. Troll Batrider going to try and find this Frostworm, and he does. The watchtower finishing the job right there, and that was a big supply lost. All right, Death Knight did not have enough mana. Dark Ranger, Lich still, well, cause for disruption and concern here as there is so many units trying to fight. Blade Master at level 5, Shadowhunter out at level 3. Are we going to perhaps see some Hex locks here as the Death Knight unable to get a Death Coil off, but there was a potion of invulnerability on that Lich. Lich could use a Death Coil here in just a moment, and he does get it. Meanwhile, the Death Knight is in a little bit of trouble, being forced to retreat back as we now see a Troll Batrider dive in on another position. It looks like the Orc heroes are able to, well, regroup with themselves and get back into this, but the Shadowhunter still needs quite a bit of mana to keep that Blade Master alive as the Shadowhunter, or as the Blade Master backs away. We normally see Orc players with a Voodoo Lounge at their expo, allowing the Blade Master to buy items and then stick around in the fight longer. You can see Genduke has over 1,100 gold right now and is being forced to constantly run back here, retreat, buy potions of healing, and this is giving opportunity for Fantafiction to clear out this expo, or at least deal some lasting bit of damage by stopping these peons from mining. All right, more watchtowers getting added in. A Blade Master wants to get in a strike, and there you are. Here we go. A bit of damage. Destroyer getting a Death Coil. Shadowhunter or letting loose that healing wave to keep that Blade Master alive as the units are retreating back again. Troll Batrider wants to find his way onto a Destroyer or Frostworm. Hasn't been able to do exactly that as we're looking to see more Frostworms getting trained once again. 2 base Orc versus 1 base Undead. Undead with the slight supply advantage and army size advantage, or actually fairly large army size advantage, 52 supply compared to 27. We need to see the Frostworm Obsidian statues make their way out onto the battlefield for those final total counts to be accurate. Meanwhile, Genduke, well, able to pick up a lot of items, and that's the reason why the heroes seem to be have such a big impact. All of those consumable items instead of training units, and that is how Orc is staying or spending his gold while staying in no upkeep. All right, Watchtower quickly going to get cleared out here, and we're going to see another Watchtower get cleaned up as well. It's going to get taken out, and in comes the Orc army again. Blade Master back around here, a little bit of damage. Well, there goes a quick Hex onto the Frostworm, stomp across all of those units. Troll Batriders finishes off a Destroyer there, and both sides are still fighting their way through. Berserker, 470. Berserker's not getting targeted down as Death Coil. There goes an Obsidian statue, and now we're finally seeing the Berserkers get taken down, but all of the Frostworms are pretty much lost as the Lich now gets up to level 4. Is the Frostworm going to be able to stay alive? No, it is not. The Death Knight never seems to have enough mana as we see a giant stomp go down across all of these ground units here, giving level 4 to the Tauren Chieftain. Level 4 on that Tauren Chieftain, who also has a lightning orb, able to attack down those air units and purge them down, preventing them from being able to easily escape. You can see that the purge just proccing over and over again as the Blade Master uses a potion of lesser invulnerability to stay alive. Alright, Shadowhunter needs to, or is that a full potion of invulnerability? Nope, that's come to an end. Tauren Chieftain falls at level 4. Shadowhunter unable to heal the Tauren Chieftain in time. We're looking at 18 supply compared to 33, but there is still mining getting underway as more watchtowers are trying to replace the ones that were lost. Healing still going back and forth. No obsidian statue so the Death Knight and the Lich is going to be, well, low on armor for at least a little while longer. Death Knight unable to get a Death Coil off as the Shadowhunter back up to heal again. 39 supply compared to 41. Undead has 30 seconds of mining left. That's not going to be all that much. Perhaps he's going to try to unsummon a couple of buildings and do a last big push here. We're looking at ghouls and obsidian statues. No crypt fiends. No abominations as the Death Knight now goes after this watchtower here. Yeah, Abomination is not a good choice at all, especially with the number of Kodo beasts we've seen out on the battlefield. More Bat Riders are joining in to, well, challenge the air. The destroyers and those, the destroyers and those frostworms, as another destroyer easily gets taken down. All right, bursting down to this Death Knight. Death Knight now down to 369 hit points. There goes another destroyer again as Healing Wave is bouncing around. Death Coil, Frost Nova. Is the Blade Master going to fall? Yes, it does, and that could be the deal there. The Death Coil, or the Hex, a split second late, and because of that split second late Hex, well, the Death Knight was able to get the Death Coil off and finish off the Blade Master. Shadowhunter now retreats back home. You can see the Tauren Chieftain is looking to get resurrected, and the Blade Master is queued up as well. Meanwhile, Watchtower and Orc Burrows are shuffling damage back towards these units here. Obsidian statues trying to offer support. You can see the Obsidian statue is actually taking quite a beating and still somehow able to stay alive as the Orc Peons and the Orc Burrows are just trying to survive. Death Knight down to, what, 400 some odd hit points. There's a Frost Nova. Healing Wave. Ghouls are continuing to try and, well, finish it off here as the Shadowhunter looks to back up again. The Shadowhunter with 540 mana, Clarity Potion, Healing Salve, Tauren Chieftain about to come back out on the battlefield here. Orc Burrows will get cleaned up. Obsidian statues, well, trying to heal up that Death Knight. As we still see a little bit of mining happening here. Are we going to perhaps see some repairs on that Orc Burrow? That is a lot of gold mined from this gold mine. Over 5,000 or almost 5,000 gold mined from this gold mine. But at the same time, how much gold has been invested into the defense of this particular expo? All right, quick Dark Ritual here. Lich getting in a little bit more mana, back up to 300. Orc Burrow number 1 is about to fall. Destroyer going up into the skies here, and now there's a Death Coil for the save. It looks like Fantafiction may have held out long enough as the, well, Orc heroes are looking to get back into this fight here. Level 4 now on the Dark Ranger. Here we are, 544 versus 544. And now, well, Tauren Chieftain, there goes a quick Hex. Are we going to look for a Stomp? There's a Frost Armor. Death Knight wants to come back over, try and land down a, well, is it, nope, going to be late there. No, just in time. Talk about close, down to 612 hit points after the Death Coil here, as we see a Silence now come back across. There is the Blade Master. Blade Master trying to go after the Dark Ranger. Dark Ranger still fighting its way through. Well, Shadowhunter trying to retreat back here. Obsidian, well, skeletal minions getting cleaned up as well, as Acolytes are getting Dark Ritualed and turned into mana for that Lich. Blade Master still engaging. There's a 200 point critical strike onto a skeletal minion there, as both sides are still fighting their way through again and again. Frostworm shows up. Now Lich could be in trouble. There's a Stomp going down across the other units. There's a Potion of Invulnerability as, well, Fantafiction holds out, and Genduke unable to close out the game. Even with the economic advantage, mining nearly 5,000 more gold than his opponent, 4,990 to be exact, still not enough to win out. Is it because there wasn't a Voodoo Lounge at the expo? Perhaps. You can see the resource score. He pretty much lost in every single category. Had less resources, had lower hero experience, and also had a lower unit score, but still came out on top. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.